A historic heatwave is bearing down on Australia. Temperatures approaching 50 degrees Celsius. Catastrophic fire danger. This is one of the most serious weather situations we've faced in years. I've spent the last several hours analysing the latest data from the Bureau of Meteorology, examining multiple forecast models and comparing this system to past heatwaves. What we're re-looking at is significant, and I want to give you the full picture with the data, the forecasts and the practical steps you need to take. Right now, conditions across the country show massive contrasts. Brisbane S already hit 38 degrees today, the hottest day of the year so far. That S well above the previous record of 33.4 on the 17th of January. Combined with humidity at 75 to 80%, it has been absolutely oppressive. Adelaide S sitting at 36 to 37 degrees. That S just the beginning for South Australia. This is the early stage of what S coming. Canberra S reached 36 degrees as well, with a diurnal range over 20 degrees. Mornings cool at 13 to 15, then temperatures climbing very quickly. Melbourne started cool this morning, 14 to 16 degrees, warming to 25 to 26. While today S relatively pleasant, that changes dramatically from tomorrow. Compare that to Perth. Due to an unseasonable cold front, Perth is only hitting 25 degrees today, actually cooler than Sydney. That is pretty unusual for midsummer. Hobart S the most comfortable, top of 25 degrees with morning temps 9 to 12. Tasmania S escaped the mainland heatwave for now. Sydney S enjoying pleasant conditions, clear skies, 24 to 27 degrees. But even there, UV levels are extreme at 11. Darwin S typical for the wet season, 32 degrees, high humidity over 80%, scattered storms expected this arvo. That temperature spread across the continent from the heat in Queensland and the ACT to the moderate conditions in Tasmania and Perth is all about to shift as a severe and prolonged heat wave sweeps across southern and inland Australia. Let me take you through the meteorological setup, because understanding what is driving this helps explain why it is so serious. We've got a massive high pressure system positioned over the Tasman Sea. This is blocking any cool southerly changes from reaching the eastern states. At the same time, a deep heat trough is developing across inland Australia, drawing extremely hot air down from the northwest. The combination of this blocking high and the heat trough creates a pattern that S going to persist for days. We're not talking about a one-day scorcher that is followed by a cool change. This is sustained, prolonged, dangerous heat. I've examined the Access model, the GFS and the European model. All three are in agreement, which gives me high confidence in this forecast. When you see model consensus like this on a significant event, you need to pay attention. The Access model is showing maximum temperatures in inland South Australia reaching 47 to 48 degrees. Western New South Wales, similar numbers. Parts of Victoria, 46 to 47 degrees. Southern Queensland inland areas, 46 to 47. The GFS is actually slightly more aggressive, suggesting some areas could approach 49 degrees. The European model is more conservative, but still showing widespread areas above 45 degrees. Some computer models are even suggesting we could see temperatures near 50 degrees in parts of inland South Australia, Western New South Wales or southern Queensland during the coming week. 50 degrees Celsius, that's not common and it's not something to take lightly. To put this in perspective, let us look at historical context. Many of you remember Black Saturday, 7th of February 2009. That day saw temperatures of 46.4 degrees in Melbourne, 48.8 in parts of north central Victoria. The conditions that day, combined with strong winds, created catastrophic fire danger. 173 people lost their lives. This heat wave has the potential to reach or exceed those temperature levels across a much broader area. That's what makes it particularly serious. You've also lived through other significant heat waves. The January 2014 heat wave saw consecutive days above 40 degrees across multiple states. The 2019 to 2020 summer, Black Summer, brought extreme heat that contributed to the worst bushfire season in our nation's history. This event is shaping up to be in that category, potentially one of the most serious heat waves in Australian history. Now, let me break this down by region and give you specific forecasts for the areas most severely affected. South Australia, you facing the most critical situation. Adelaide today hit 36 to 37 degrees. Tomorrow, Saturday, the 26th of January, temperatures climb above 40 degrees. Monday, the 27th of January, 42 to 43 degrees in Adelaide. Inland South Australia, particularly areas north and west of Adelaide, you are looking at 46 to 48 degrees. Some models suggest localised areas could approach 49 or even 50 degrees. The Yorke Peninsula faces catastrophic fire danger tomorrow when this heat combines with strong northwesterly winds. Catastrophic is the highest warning level. It means fires will be uncontrollable, unpredictable, and extremely dangerous. If you are in a high-risk area on the Yorke Peninsula, you need to consider evacuating today, not waiting until tomorrow. Fire danger ratings right across South Australia will be extreme to catastrophic. Total fire bans will be in place. Absolutely no outdoor fires, no use of machinery that could create sparks, no activities that could start a fire. Victoria, your heat builds more gradually but reaches similar extremes. Melbourne today was pleasant at 25 to 26 degrees. Tomorrow climbs into the mid-30s. By Monday and Tuesday, Melbourne could hit 40 to 42 degrees. Inland Victoria, particularly western and central areas, faces even more severe conditions. Mildura, Swan Hill, Horsham, you are looking at 46 to 47 degrees. Some areas could approach 48. The Wimmera and Mallee regions will see extreme to catastrophic fire danger as the heat peaks. Western Victoria, same story. If you in the Grampians area or the Western District, fire danger will be extreme. Gippsland might escape the worst of it due to easterly winds bringing slightly cooler air off the ocean, but you'll still see temperatures in the high 30s. Country Fire Authority and Fire Rescue Victoria will issue detailed warnings. Monitor those closely. Have your bushfire survival plan ready. Know your trigger points for when to leave. New South Wales, the heat impacts you mainly in western and central areas. Sydney stays relatively moderate, but even the coast will see temperatures climbing into the mid to high 30s by midweek. Western New South Wales, you are in the firing line. Broken Hill, Burke, Cobar, Ivanhoe, you are looking at 46 to 48 degrees, potentially approaching 49 in some locations. Central West areas, Dubbo, Parkes, Forbes, 44 to 46 degrees. The Riverina, Wagga Wagga, Griffith, Deniliquin, 43 to 45 degrees. Fire danger across Western New South Wales will be extreme. The Rural Fire Service will implement total fire bans. If you are on the land, if you've got livestock, start planning now how you are going to manage this heat. Southern tablelands and snowy mountains will be cooler than the Western Plains, but still hot for alpine areas. Canberra, as I mentioned today, hit 36 degrees. That's actually the coolest day of your week. Monday, 36 degrees. Tuesday, 42 degrees. Wednesday, 42 degrees or higher. Queensland, the heat affects you mainly in southern and inland areas. Brisbane today hit 38 degrees with high humidity, making it feel worse. That humidity is oppressive, makes it harder for your body to cool itself through sweating. Brisbane's heat should ease slightly over the weekend as some coastal showers develop, but inland southern Queensland faces extreme conditions. Darling Downs, St George, Charleville, Cunnamulla, you are looking at 45 to 47 degrees. Some areas could approach 48, say central Queensland inland areas, Longreach, Barcaldine, 44 to 46 degrees. The combination of heat and dry conditions creates extreme fire danger across southern Queensland inland areas. Queensland Fire and Emergency Services will issue warnings. Stay informed. Far north Queensland and coastal areas north of Rockhampton will be hot, but not as extreme. The monsoon trough and tropical moisture will keep temperatures in the low to mid 30s, which is more typical for this time of year. Western Australia, UV actually got it better than the eastern states this week. That cold front that brought Perth cooler conditions today will keep temperatures more moderate across the southwest for the next few days. Perth will see temperatures in the mid to high 20s through the weekend, possibly climbing to low 30s early next week. Not comfortable, but nothing like what is happening across South Australia and Victoria. However, inland Western Australia, the goldfields and eastern wheatbelt areas, you'll still see temperatures climbing to 42 to 44 degrees. Not as extreme as the east, but still significant. Tasmania, you are largely protected from this heat wave. Hobart might hit 32 degrees on Tuesday the 27th, which would be the hottest day of summer so far, but that is still well below the catastrophic heat affecting the mainland. Northern Tasmania, Launceston area might see mid-30s on Tuesday. Western Tasmania stays cooler thanks to onshore winds. If you've got family or mates on the mainland in affected areas, check in on them. They are going to need support through this. Northern Territory, you're in your typical wet season pattern. Darwin will continue seeing temperatures around 32 to 34 degrees with high humidity and afternoon storms. This heat event doesn't extend into the top end, the same way it is affecting southern areas. However, the heat will move into southern parts of the Northern Territory. Alice Springs and surrounding Central Australia could see temperatures reaching 44 to 46 degrees by midweek. Now let S talk about the fire danger, because this is where the heat becomes truly life-threatening. Tomorrow, Saturday the 26th of January, we're re-looking at extreme fire danger widespread across South Australia and Western Victoria. Catastrophic fire danger on the Yorke Peninsula. When fire danger reaches catastrophic levels, it means that if a fire starts, it will be impossible to control. Firefighters, one, to be able to save your house, you cannot defend your property under these conditions. The only safe option is to leave high-risk areas before the danger period begins. Don T, wait until you see smoke. Don T, wait until you receive an emergency warning. By then, it is too late. If you in a bushfire-prone area anywhere in South Australia, Victoria, New South Wales or Queensland, you need to review your bushfire survival plan today. Your plan should have clear trigger points. What will make you decide to leave? Don T, make it when I see flames, because that is too late. Make it when catastrophic fire danger is forecast or when total fire bans are declared. Know at least 2 escape routes from your property. Fires can cut off roads very quickly. If your primary route is blocked, you need an alternative. Prepare an emergency evacuation kit right now. Important documents, medications, water, clothing, phone chargers, cash. Keep it in a bag ready to grab. Clean up around your property today. Clear dry leaves, branches, any flammable rubbish. Move firewood away from the house. If you've got wood piles against your walls, move them now. Do not use lawnmowers, welding equipment, grinders, or any tools that could create sparks. One spark in these conditions can start a fire that destroys homes. If you're in a high-risk area and the forecast is for catastrophic fire danger, leave early. Stay with friends or family in town. Book a motel. Get to the coast. Just get out of the high-risk area. I know some of you have lived in the bush for decades. You've defended your property through fires before. You reckon you know how to handle it. I respect that experience. But catastrophic fire danger means the rules have changed. The fires that develop under these conditions are beyond what even experienced firefighters can manage. Black Saturday proved that. Ash Wednesday proved that. No property is worth your life or the lives of your family. Download your State S Emergency Warning app if you haven't already. Victoria, that SVIC Emergency. New South Wales, fires near me. South Australia, the Emergency app. Queensland, the Hazards app. Monitor warnings from the Bureau of Meteorology at bom.gov.au. Check updates from your local fire service. Now let S address the health risks, because this heat will be dangerous even if you are nowhere near bushfire risk areas. Heat kills. It kills more Australians than any other natural disaster. During heat waves, deaths increase not just from heat stroke, but from heart attacks, strokes, respiratory problems and kidney failure. The heat puts massive stress on your body. Older Australians are particularly vulnerable. If you're over 65, your body doesn't regulate temperature as effectively. You might not feel thirsty even when you are dehydrated. You are at higher risk. People with medical conditions, heart disease, diabetes, respiratory problems, you are at higher risk. The heat makes these conditions worse. Young children can regulate their body temperature as well as adults. Babies and toddlers need extra care during heat waves. Here's what you need to do to protect yourself and your family. Drink plenty of water even when you are not thirsty. Your body loses water through sweating, and in this heat, you'll be sweating constantly, even if you don't notice it. Aim for at least 2 to 3 litres per day, more if you're reactive. Avoid strenuous outdoor activity during the heat of the day. If you need to work outside, do it early morning or late evening. The peak heat will be from midday to 6 p.m. Stay inside during those hours if possible. Seek air-conditioned spaces. If you don't have air conditioning at home, head to shopping centres, public libraries, community centres. Many councils open cooling centres during heat waves. Don't be too proud to use them. Never leave children or pets in cars. Ever. Even with windows cracked, car interiors can reach 60 to 70 degrees within minutes. Children and pets die in hot cars every summer. Don't let it happen. Check regularly on elderly neighbours, family members, anyone living alone. A quick phone call or visit could save a life. Make sure they staying hydrated, that they have access to cooling, that they okay. Wear light, loose-fitting, light-coloured clothing. Dark colours absorb heat. Tight clothing traps heat against your body. Loose, light-coloured cotton or linen helps your body cool itself. Use SPF 50+ sunscreen. The UV levels will be extreme, 11 to 13 across most of the country. Even on cloudy days, you can get severely sunburned. Reapply every 2 hours if you outside. Keep your home cool. Close blinds and curtains during the day to block sun. Use fans, but remember that fans just circulate air. They don't cool it. If the air temperature is above 35 degrees, fans actually make it harder for your body to cool down. Wet towels on your neck, wrists and forehead can help. Taking cool showers throughout the day helps. Don't make the shower cold, just cool, so your body doesn't go into shock. If you start feeling dizzy, nauseous, getting a headache, feeling confused, those are signs of heat exhaustion. Get into air conditioning immediately, drink water, apply cool wet cloths. If symptoms don't improve quickly, call 000. Heat stroke is life-threatening. Signs include very high body temperature, hot, dry skin, rapid pulse, confusion, unconsciousness. Heat stroke is a medical emergency. Call 000 immediately. For those of you with livestock, this heat is going to be tough on your animals. Make sure they have access to shade and plenty of clean water. Check water troughs multiple times per day. Stock will drink far more in this heat. If you've got cattle, sheep or horses in paddocks without natural shade, consider moving them to areas with tree cover or putting up temporary shade structures. Avoid moving stock during the heat of the day. If you need to move them, do it early morning before temperatures climb. Watch for signs of heat stress in your animals. Cattle will pant, drool, bunch together, seeking shade. Sheep will seek shade and reduce grazing. If animals are in severe distress, wet them down with water if possible. Poultry are particularly vulnerable to heat stress. Make sure chooks have shade and water. You might need to add ice to water containers during peak heat. For those in urban areas with pets, same principles apply. Make sure dogs and cats have access to cool areas and fresh water. Don't leave them outside during peak heat. Don't walk dogs on hot pavement. It can burn their paws. Early morning or late evening walks only. Now let us talk about what happens after the peak of this heat wave, because understanding the timeline helps with planning. The most extreme heat will be Monday the 27th through Wednesday the 29th of January. That is when we see the potential for temperatures approaching 50 degrees in some inland areas. From Thursday the 30th onwards, a trough and cool change will gradually move across the southeastern states. This one to be a dramatic cool change, more of a gradual easing. By the weekend of the 1st and 2nd of February, temperatures should be back to more typical summer levels across most areas. Still warm, still summer, but not the extreme heat we're facing this week. However, even after the temperatures drop, the fire danger remains elevated. The vegetation will be tinder dry. The soil moisture will be depleted. Any fires that start after the heat wave will still spread quickly. So even when the temperatures ease, don't drop your guard on fire safety. Total fire bans might still be in place. Continue to avoid any activities that could spark fires. This timeline means you've got today and tomorrow to prepare. After that, we into the most dangerous period. Use this time wisely. I want to address something I've seen in weather commentary that frustrates me. There's often this tension between warning people appropriately and avoiding panic. Some people accuse meteorologists of fear-mongering when we issue strong warnings. Others say we don't emphasise the risks enough. Here is my approach. I give you the data, the forecast, and the historical context. I explain what the models are showing and what confidence I have in those forecasts. I tell you what actions you should take based on that information. This heat wave is serious. The potential for temperatures approaching 50 degrees, the widespread catastrophic fire danger, the health risks. This is not normal summer weather. It deserves your attention and preparation, but it's not the end of the world. Australia has weathered extreme heat waves before. You've lived through harsh summers. We have emergency services. We have systems in place. We have each other. The key is to be prepared without being panicked. Take this seriously, but don't catastrophize. If you are in a high-risk bushfire area and catastrophic fire danger is forecast, leave. That's not panic, that's sensible risk management. If you are in an urban area away from bushfire risk, you don't need to evacuate. You need to stay cool, stay hydrated, and look after yourself and others. If you re-elderly or have health conditions, take extra precautions. Have a plan for accessing air conditioning. Make sure family or friends are checking on you. If you re-young and healthy, you re-not invincible. The heat can still affect you, but you re-also in a position to help others. Check on your neighbours, share information with your mates, look after people who are more vulnerable. We get through these events as communities. That's always been the Australian way. Share this information with your family and friends. Make sure people in affected areas know what's coming. A lot of people don't pay close attention to weather forecasts until it's too late. Help spread the word. Monitor updates from the Bureau of Meteorology. Conditions can change. Forecasts get refined as we get closer to the event. What I am telling you today is based on the best available information, but check for updates. The BOM website, bom.gov.au, has state-by-state forecasts, fire danger ratings, severe weather warnings, everything you need. Download the BOM weather app if you haven't already. Set up notifications for severe weather warnings in your area. Follow your state emergency service on social media. They post updates quickly when situations develop. Have a battery-powered or hand-crank radio in case power goes out and you lose internet access. ABC local radio will broadcast emergency warnings. I know this has been a long forecast, but this situation warrants the detail. We're re-looking at a significant, dangerous weather event. To summarise the key points: historic heatwave developing across southern and inland Australia. Temperatures potentially approaching 50 degrees Celsius in some areas. Most severely affected South Australia, Western Victoria, Western New South Wales, Southern Queensland, inland areas. Peak heat, Monday the 27th through Wednesday the 29th of January. Catastrophic fire danger in multiple regions. If you are in a high-risk bushfire area, consider evacuating before the danger period. Health risks are serious. Stay hydrated, seek air conditioning, avoid outdoor activity during peak heat. Check on vulnerable people. Never leave children or pets in cars. Clean up around properties today. No use of machinery that could spark fires. Know your evacuation routes. Download emergency apps. Monitor warnings. This heat will ease from Thursday the 30th onwards, but fire danger remains elevated even after temperatures drop. We have dealt with extreme weather before. We'll get through this one too. But it requires preparation and it requires us to look after each other. Stay safe, stay informed, and take this seriously. That's the forecast for the 25th of January 2020.